Hello everybody, happy Saturday. My name is Maria. Welcome to Mosaic Maria channel. So I wanted to do a follow-up video. I did a video on Tarte concealer and I didn't like it. And I told you all the reasons I didn't like it. In fact, my video is called AKA War Paint, because mine was going on like war paint. It was just not, it wasn't flexing with my skin. And this is called Power Flex, and the color that was suggested that I use is fair neutral because I am fair neutral. My circles under my eyes were very dark, and it's concealer, and it's considered the yoga pants of the comfortability and flexibility and stretchability of yoga pants. Concealer. Kind of hard to see in this light, but yeah, there it is. And yeah, I have fair neutral 1-2N, and I bought it mostly because I go through so many concealers, it's ridiculous. So the applicator, I'll show you it. The amount you get is incredible for $20. It's incredible. And yeah, see, that is my color. So it's really beautiful. But it just wasn't, it wasn't flexing with my skin. And it came with a beautiful brush for $20. You know, brush and the it's called a CEA Power Flex. I think I was calling it Power Max before. I'm sorry. So this is the brush, and it's absolutely beautiful, and it feels divine on your skin, and you just can, you know, dab, and then there's several ways they were showing to apply this concealer, and that is for older women, well, for any woman, but I watched a lot of tutorials on putting on concealer, and I specifically went to all of the Tarte, the seal tape or shape tape, and then this. And the difference is, for a mature skin, the shape tape might be better. If you have really, really dark circles, this will lighten them up because it's got alpha hydroxy in it, vitamin B3. Let me name all the things got in it again. Antioxidant complex, polyglutamic, hydroxylic acids, C. daffodil, vitamin E, algae, and vitamin B3, dermatologist tested, cruelty-free, and vegan. And it really feels so soft in your skin. Like when you go to touch it, like, why isn't it moving on my skin? So why isn't it moving? It's just staying there. So this was the main thing I was not. Let me wash that first. 1 second. So after checking around, everyone said you need the primer. And this is Tarte C Quench Hydrating Primer Base Hydrate. So I just want to show you how beautiful this is. And I've been using it on my hands, the top of my hands, because my hands are in water a ridiculous amount of time because I'm constantly washing equipment I'm using in between. And then for COVID, you know, always washing. And I always noticed that my hands were getting really crepey too, top of my hands. So there is 2 products I use a lot that I like, that I really love, and that is Aveeno hand cream, and then also because it's for dry, scaly hands, and then also And when I really want to do a nice hand, I use Satin Hands by Mary Kay. And it's just a really nice like spa treatment for your hands. But the other one that I use that I really love is St. Ives. St. Ives milk thistle and honey. It just goes right into your hands, and it's got vitamin E. It's got oil in it. The smell's so good. It's like a little gel, just like a little tiny gel. And if you don't use it for anything else, dab a little on your. It's just a primer, and it's so nice and smooth, like baby skin. It really is, and it doesn't like linger. You know how some primers on your face, when you prep your face, how they kind of like, you can still feel them? You can't feel this. And I sometimes like will squint my hair with it too, which is really helping. So, I had gotten this in an Ipsy kit like last year. And I don't do the Ipsy kit anymore, but I went ahead and ordered the Quench because you get a discount on it if you've been a member to Ipsy. And it really is good. And it made all the difference. I applied it, and it totally works good. Now, if you get up really close, you can see that it still does go into, get my light really good. You can see, there, you can see it there. Kind of, you know, it does kind of get into the crevices, but also I'm still fighting a lot of sinus infection. I've just really had a really bad sinus thing that just keeps coming back to me. And mostly it's from a lot of the weather changes and just the time of year. And since I had COVID in December, I've just been really fighting. I've just really been struggling with stomach issues and fatigue and sinus gunk. And just, I think, just walking in the cold and then going into a hot kitchen and working by the ovens and a steam kettle. So I joke with the people I work with that I would never give up kettling, because you're basically over a huge kettle of just steam coming up in your face. And a lot of times I go to work with my makeup on, and I'm like, I have to stop doing that and just come in at that time of day, early in the morning when nobody's in there, with no makeup on, and just stand there and let that steam hit me, and then I put my makeup on. And so this is my correction and apology. I absolutely love now. Now I love, love, like love. I went out and bought 2 more CoverGirl, and they weren't going on right. Normally my CoverGirl or Maybelline concealers or Almay in Fair go right over my eyes. So it wasn't the product. I'm so sorry to Tarte. It was not the product. The product is really good. It was the condition of my my eyes, which was coming off of a really bad sinus infection, really bad dry skin, and I was using a couple different things under my eyes, maybe too much. I was doing cucumbers at night, St. Ives apricot exfoliating scrub. I was using an eye gel from Bye Bye Under Eye as a prep, and I forget what they're called. They're not called vitamin E. They're these little tiny capsules that you break open. I'll get the name of them. And you just kind of dot them under your eye. And it was actually adding to the problem. Now, from all the videos I watched, I should be able to cover this up with this. But less is more. And it will eventually lighten it. The more I use it, is what I'm being told. So you just kind of dab in and just dab around. And really, I have the coverage I've always had, where it's not, it's not going to cover the whole thing, but a little bit, right? And then just make sure you go around. I'm trying to keep my brush away from my nose or anything that could reinfect my brush. And then I've already washed my brush twice, which I think is too much, but I'm being a knip about it. I don't know if you can reinfect yourself with COVID, so I've just been tossing out toothbrushes. I've been very careful not to use like lipsticks a lot. Just maybe a lip balm. And today I just have on a lip liner with a lip balm, like a tint. But this was the actual game changer for me. It was Tarte Quench. I don't know why it looks like I need more over here. I'm gonna smudge this if I can. I bought this little eye gel, LA eye gel color. I was really missing blue. I really loved, I used to always wear brown and blue in like the 80s and 90s. I would wear a little brown and blue. And I was really missing those colors and wanting to return to them. And not wearing a lot of blush, but I don't think you need a lot during the day, just for everyday makeup. So I just want to come back and say primer. You can put it on your whole face, but dab a little extra on your eyes. And then I've just been doing cucumbers at night when I go to sleep because and I have a terrible habit of rubbing my eyes when they get itchy or blurry. The other thing is wearing my glasses. I have a smudge in my glasses and they're crooked. So I've been tending to not wearing them as much. And not good because then I'm blurry eyed and I'm like rubbing my eyes. I also start tearing a lot. And it's really from dry eyes. So that's the thing I'm taking care of with my doctor. That has nothing to do with, it's just it's part of thyroid condition is sometimes you get dry eyes or you get thyroid eyes and just tears stream down your eyes. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's not the tear duct is bad or anything like that. It's just constant water streaming down your face. And it's always at once and then could be part of the sinuses. They don't really know. It's probably autoimmune with me. So kind of hard to wear a lot of eye makeup when your eyes are doing that. But some of the things I've remembered I have to do is wear my glasses. And even at work, I have looked at numbers and saw them totally wrong. And then come home and had more headaches. So glasses, even with the smudge, I've got an appointment to get my glasses. These are like 10 years old now. So it's time to, they're trifocals. It's time to get that smudge out that's been right there. And so Tarte Quench Hydrating. And this was my color shade, and it was working good. It looks quite good. I mean, I'm happy with it. It feels good. Everything feels good. It feels light. It doesn't feel heavy. No weird smells. Okay, so I got this pattern. It's February, so happy February. I got this pattern at Craftaholics, and I will list the pattern, and it's called Hearts and Doilies. And what you do is you make these little doilies, and you string them together, crochet, and you just string them together. And you can do just a doily bunting that you hang for like weddings or baby showers or Mother's Day or birthday, I don't know, parties, whatever, welcome home, whatever, just fun things, right? Spring, showers and things, and Valentine's Day. Or you can make hearts. So I have hot pink, red heart. I have, what color do I have here? Karen Simply Soft Orchid. I have Aunt Lydia's 100% number 10 cotton. And this is a variegated pink and white. And I like it because you can play with hearts and like maybe do different colors on one side, and I jazz mine up a little bit, or I make them look more Victorian, or I go simplistic. And then I have Red Heart Lavender. And you can make these hearts. And then I have Red Heart Cotton Candy color. And that's here. So you can use Aunt Lydia's, or what's it called? Sugar in. You can use any number 10 cotton you want. Aunt Lydia's is a good one. Variegated or regular. And then I'm using Aunt Lydia's white for these, because they just do really, the person that designed the pattern, I'll get her name, said it just gives a crisper look than the fuzzier yarn. So I'll show you the difference. This is the cotton, and once I block this out, I'm gonna attach everything and then wash and pin it before I put it on my theme tree, my Christmas tree, which I picked up for. I just took all the little sweaters down for January and put up. I'm gonna put up this. So the weirdest part of this pattern is connecting everything. The doily one, if you were just doing doilies, it's definitely easier to hang, because you can make a straight edge and just keep going up here and make a little bit more to go with and make your chain a little bit more. Attaching the hearts, it can look a little flimsy and be a little uneven looking and sloppy. Then you can go back and trim it up and add a border and give it a more straight edge. So I've been slip stitch adding instead of chaining. And so I just want to show you the difference between the two. This is, and maybe there isn't that much of a difference, but I can see a difference. This is Red Heart White, or Worth the Weight yarn, Super Saver. And this is the Aunt Lydia's cotton. I don't know. I mean, I do think it, once it's black, I think it does give a crisper kind of look than the fuzzier. So it just is more crisp looking. So to make these hearts and doilies, show you how to make a heart. And I'm just going to scatter my hearts in between and hang them. I have to find my color that I need one more. I need one more of these in color, and I need one more of this color. So I'm doing 3 of each. I'll make one in this color. So I'm using a 4.5 needle, and the pattern calls for a 4.25. But I'm using what my yarn is calling for and what I think looks good, and it's going to be how there's no gauge. So you have to make a magic circle. So you wrap your yarn around like this. You crisscross it. Take your hook and you go under the first strand and you grab the second strand, and you basically have a little pretzel there, a little donut pretzel. And it's kind of awkward at first, but you're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And into the circle, and you're going to keep your pretzel hanging this way, your tail hanging this way. You're going to go around it carefully. You're going to do 6 double crochet. A total of that first chain that chain 5 that we did counts as a chain 1 and a double crochet. So I'm going to do 6, and then we'll have 7 for a total. So to do a double crochet, you're going to yarn over, go into your circle, magic loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And if you get confused, you can just count. Like this will be 1, counts as 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have to do 1 more, or I mean 2 more, for a total of 6. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. One more time. All right. So just to show you again, you have your little magic circle, and that chain 5 counts as a double crochet and a chain 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to pull our tail and close our circle best we can. You don't have to do this all at once because it bunches up the cotton a little bit. All right. Now we're going to chain 5. And I'm going to do, I'm sorry, 3. I did that wrong. Chain 3. 2, 3. Let me remember this. You're going to do 3 double, you're going to, I'm going to remember this. You're going, I've made so many of them, I can't remember. You're going to yarn over, double crochet into that first stitch, same stitch. So you chain 3, double crochet into the same stitch. Then double crochet 3 times. Wait a minute. Chain 2, I'm sorry. Chain 2. So it is. Start over. Chain 3. I'm getting it confused with the doily. I am getting it confused with the doily. I'm getting it confused with the doily. I'm going to the pattern. I don't trust myself here. I haven't made a heart in a while. I've been making doilies. Let me see. Oh, where's my... Up, up, up. Oh, it reset my thing. Darn it. All right, well. No. There it is. Come back to me. Come back to me. All right. And it is, let me just make sure I got the right thing, because I think I'm beginning a doily instead of a heart. Yeah, I started with a heart. Yeah, okay, so chain 5, I did that right. And then it's chain 3, and then it's So let me do this. It's chain 3. So everything is right so far. Then it's chain 3. And we're already on row 2. So it's chain 3. I'm going to start over because I feel bad going in circles here. Literal circle. Alright, so to make your magic loop, go around your fingers and cross over. Alright? Either an H hook or a G hook, 4.5 or a 4.25, whatever you feel comfortable with. Make your little magic circle. And I just kind of hold it like that. Keep my tail out like this. And don't be afraid if you make mistakes. Just go back and do it over again, like I'm going to do it over again. You know, we learn from our mistakes. Hopefully, that's the idea, is you learn from your mistakes. One time I made this totally, an Afghan, totally wrong. But I made up a new pattern, and it was lovely, so just never know. I tend to write down when I make my mistake. What did I learn from you? What have I learned from you? Okay, so get your tail out of the way and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this counts as your double crochet in your chain 2. So I said that wrong in the beginning. Alright, so now we're going to do 3 double crochet and 2 chains into the, yeah, I was doing it. I was doing the doily. I was beginning to make the doily. So we're going to do 3 double crochet into the circle. And we're going to chain 2. And do 3 double crochet again. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to chain 2 again. And chain 3. I'm going to count 3, 6, 9. Yep, I'm going to chain 3. Okay. And then we're going to chain. Oh, I already did that. We're going to chain 2 and then do 2 double crochet right here. And then what we have is that one chain that counted as a double crochet. We're going to go into the top third. So you're going to count 1, 2, 3 up and just slip stitch into that and join. Now what you should have is, you should have, let me pull this closed a little more so you can see it. And you should be able to pull this closed now with your tail. So you should have 2 spaces on the top and 2 spaces on the bottom, and you should have 12 double crochet. So 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay. And so that was round 1. And there's only 3 rounds. So then round 2, we chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And this counts as your first double crochet. Okay, and you're going to do you're going to go right into your space, which is right here, the corner. And depending on what yarn you're using, it's either going to be hard to see or not. So you got to kind of stretch your stitches to look for it. You'll see your cluster of stitches and then your space. So you're going to go ahead and do 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet into that chain space. So 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet again. And now we have these 3 double crochet here, right? We're going to double crochet into the next 3. So we're almost making like a little granny square kind of square. You'll see it start to square off. Or like maybe the beginning of a petal, like a flower petal. Okay. And then we're in our next corner right here. And again, we just 2 double crochet. Chain 2. 2 double crochet. And then we double crochet in this next set of 3 double crochets, just right into the top of them. So basically you have the beginning of the little granny squares, which got. And then we 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet into this corner. And then we're going to do this set here. 3 double crochet, top of that. Navigator, Carl Saunders is going to be making sure we get the mark. Flight engineer Hannah Martin will run calculations to ensure that we intercept the moon. Once we clear the atmosphere, we'll begin the refueling process. We are friends in space. Same thing here. So you basically have the beginning of a heart here. If you wanted to really play with it, you could start building up here, but I'm following the pattern. I've made my own hearts where I began kind of like this, and you could leave it like that if you wanted a smaller heart. I just want to say, if you want a smaller heart, you could turn it on itself and start working here, a shell. The very same 9 double crochet shell we're going to do in the 3rd row and the final row that makes the little curved heart bumps is exactly what you can do at this point to make it smaller. Okay, so 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and now we only have 2 double crochet, 2 double crochet in. So we double crochet into them. And then we slip stitch into the top of that first chain. So 1, 2, 3, we count up then we slip stitch, join, and now we have this. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and you should have 28 double crochet and 4 chain spaces. Round 3 is really simple. We're going to slip stitch into this corner space. So you're gonna chain. I don't even think, no, you don't chain, I'm sorry, you just slip stitch. So we're gonna slip stitch into that 1, double crochet right there. Slip stitch into the next one, just insert your hook and pull up your yarn and pull it through. Then slip stitch right into, you could go into the top of it if you wanted to. Just depends on how you want it to look, clean or wrap around. So you're going to slip stitch into the corner. Then you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to double crochet, 9 double crochet into that space. So it may seem like a stretch, but that's what makes it have its shape. Pretty cool pattern. And I'll get her name. It's a really beautiful pattern. So I've got 4. So I need 5 more. You're basically making a shell. We're making a shell because you're doing all these double crochet in one stitch. And then you're just going to slip stitch to the next corner. So you go into the next double crochet and you slip stitch. And you go into the next double crochet and you slip stitch and slip stitch into the corner, or you could go over the top of it into the stitch like I did. Some of them have gone around the corner, some of them have gone into a chain stitch. It's up to you. And then count again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 double crochet into that stitch, 4th stitch from the corner, the 4th double crochet from the corner. Got my 4, I need 5 more. If you didn't like if your top part of your heart didn't look like enough, you could do a 10 or 11. I mean, you could customize this. So then, instead of slip stitching into this, we're going to slip stitch into the next corner to finish off. And that is the finished off heart. I'll show you what I mean. There it is. So, I mean, obviously with the variegated yarn, you're going to get all different kind of texture looks. Now, what I did was I slip stitched into the chain around, and then when I got to the little hump, the cupid part of the bumps here of the heart, I then used the back loop to slip stitch through to make a little ridge, just to make some of them look more, I guess, Victorian-ish kind of look to them, or yeah, like some of them more. And then other thing you can do, I'll just show you really quick. You can go all the way around it to clean it up and just slip stitch all the way around to the bottom. You know how they have those emoji hearts on social media that are kind of like longer hearts with maybe a little tail on them that go crooked, or maybe hearts that one bump on the heart is like more asymmetrical, bigger, or whatever. You can do that just by adding more stitch in. So I'm going to show you how we can make this longer. So when you come down to the bottom here of the heart, at the bottom part, it would probably show up better in a solid color, but you could just slip stitch into that and slip stitch again and slip stitch again, and then almost like a picot, and then slip stitch here to the next one. You're just making a little knot on the bottom and then turn and just kind of build on it, like work into that chain and do a single crochet into those 3 stitches or 2 stitches, and then when you get into the 3rd stitch you just bring it through and then attach it over here to the 1st stitch that you began with, and you kind of have a picot. So you could kind of do that. Just gives it a little fun thing to do. And then just come around the side here and slip stitch your way back. Slip stitch really is your friend in these little things. You can slip stitch into the back loop, or you can slip stitch into the front or the 3rd loop, and it just really looks pretty. I mean, if you want it to look more lacy, or if you just want to clean up your edges. If you really want to make them bigger, you can single crochet into them. And then, of course, you could do little picots at the top of your heart bumps. And you can do chains and make loops. You can really dress these up or dress them down. And also you can change your hook size, and that makes all the difference too. So maybe you want to go finer on a row and then go a little loopier and lacier on one row. You could do that. When you get to the top of the bumps, I'm just going to take that back loop. This is not part of the pattern that you'll see, but I'm just going to go ahead and the back loop, keep slip stitching, because that will give me a lacy ridge. So I'm kind of building on this. I'm actually watching a movie. You might hear in the background. I hope they don't bring it out, but the gods of YouTube. But I'm watching on my TV the movie Moonfall, which I just think is kind of funny because it's kind of imitating the whole China balloon thing that is in our airspace and now Latin America. I guess it's over the North Carolinas. It's over Charlotte right now. So it was over Montana, then over Missouri, and everybody's trying to figure out whether to shoot it down. And I'm watching Moonfall, and something in space is coming at the moon and trying to get it to fall to Earth in this movie. And they're trying to figure out whether to go up and destroy it, or say how to save the planet, what to do. So, okay, so you can see this gives it a little bit of a lace ridge here. So then I would just go right into that that little chain space there. And again, because you want to keep that indentation there, so you don't want to, so that's why I'm going into the back loop more than the front. But I've done some where I've gone into the front loop and then the back loop. It just makes a nice little ridge. And like here's where you would want to do a little picot if you wanted to really make this jazzy and lacy. So I guess what I'm saying is you can build it up or make them dainty. You can use a lace. In fact, I'm going to do one of these doilies in lace. And just see what the difference is, how it looks on the tree. If this looks too thick or the lacy looks better, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so now that I'm past my little hump there, I want to kind of find a way to finish off. So I'm just going to go right into there and pull and give it a little cut with my wonderful cat clippers, claw clippers here that I always have around. I'm always sneaking up on my cat. Get his hook nail. Alright, so there's heart. And then of course you just take a embroidery needle or darning needle, or you can even use your crochet hook and fasten your ends in. And you have heart. So this would be my my next one that is with the cotton yarn that I'm going to use. And in size, they're no different. They're all about the same size, no matter what, you know, color you're using. They're all coming out about the same, I think. Anyways, that other one go. Yeah, they're all about the same size. Although, if you slip stitch on the inside loop too much, it will pull it in. So just make sure you're not cinching too much because it'll go in. And there it is. So let me just check and see if I have enough time to show you how to do a doily. And I don't, because it's 48 minutes and that's been a long time. My point, if you want to come back for part 2, I can click make a doily with this. But I'm going to leave the pattern for you because it's so very simple. I know you can do it. Anybody could do it. And just read the directions really carefully. And don't be afraid to do do-overs. So what I really want to say in this video is this video is about do-overs. I tried the Tarte Power Flex and I hated it. And I made a video about it and I said, it's bad. Maybe it works for other people. It's just not this miracle thing for me. It's just not working. And I had to have the primer really to make it work. I had to, Tim Gone, my favorite guy, make it work, carry on, make it work. I had to have this, the little primer. And you don't have to have a lot, just a little bit to put around your eyes and all the difference in the world. And this really is fantastic. So do-overs are really important in life. Do-overs, I'm finding crochet and knitting has taught me so much with do-overs. Mistakes. We have to make mistakes. One of the things I was telling my employer at work, we were, whenever he teaches me something new, I've told him I'm the type of person that is a slow learner if I'm watching you. In other words, I have to, you tell me how to do it. I'm going to watch you, but I have to do it. I have to do it. I have to get my hands in there and do it. And doing something, you're going to make mistakes. And then I remember, oh, that's why that happened. And you learn. And so part of learning in life for me has always been, you could tell me how to do it all you want. You could tell me I could read the directions forever. But unless you're in the process, and we're all on the potter's wheel in process in life. We're all constantly being remolded, reshaped, and we learn from our mistakes. So some of these hearts look absolutely horrible in the beginning, and I just kept playing with them and kept doing over, kept ripping out. That has been my mantra for, you know, knitting and crochet and life. And also, I'm going to say, if you've ever been falsely accused of something, or you've come across information that you don't believe that somebody is saying, and it has, destroyed your life and your family's life, and I mean, just things are just everything's all crazy or whatever. If it's not setting well with your core essence of your soul, and you just cannot get on board with believing or agreeing with something that has been said and is spoken as somebody's truth, and you just cannot get on board of it, either you're being accused or somebody you love is being accused, or just people are talking shit about you or whatever. False. We have to look at perception, memory, and how everybody perceives things, and how every brain is unique and takes in and processes information. So if you're not there yet with something you don't believe or you do believe, give it a rest. Put it on the shelf. Continue to hold sacred space for the people that are involved. If there is an injustice, do not make a decision during that grief and pain. Do not. It would be like putting your work down and never going back to it. Don't. Cry, scream, yell, write, run, exercise, do what you have to do to keep your body not building up adrenaline and panicking and having anxiety, but let that emotion out without hurting other people. And then best you can, do over. Go back and look at everything all over again and reevaluate it from a whole new headspace and heart space, mostly heart space. And try again to see another person's point of view and to look at your own reasons why you're hung up. Maybe you can't believe something someone's saying. I know there is a large system group out here in the DID, MPD, multiple community. I have a difficult time watching their videos. A lot of people out here do. There's been lots of drama llama with their videos. And a lot of their stuff they're saying is just not true. It's not the way it is for the majority of people. And they're touting themselves as experts. And I've had to look at them and just kind of say, well, one, you do you, and let everyone else do their own self. And two, I'm watching over the years as they're getting older, as they grow, and they realize, oh, that was a mistake. And that was a false thought. That was a thought. That was a belief that I was holding on to that wasn't true. So give people time, just like you're giving yourself time to rethink things. And do-overs are the most important thing we can do for each other in life. It doesn't mean you have to give people second, third, fourth, fifth chances. Give people space and then come back to it. Give yourself time and then come back to it. So again, I really didn't like this stuff. I was like, oh my God. You know why? Because I had such an expectation for it, and it didn't work. But it wasn't the product. It was my skin. So with the primer and the brush, it worked. And with crochet, I could read a million patterns and start, and it doesn't look anything like it's supposed to be. I'm telling you, I did like 40 of these before I had a heart. And it's a simple pattern. And I just kept kind of rushing to judgment, like rushing ahead to do it, like looking at it and going, okay, 6 double crochet here, 3 here, chain this, blah, blah. I wasn't getting anywhere. And I stopped, looked at the picture, started following the commas, the periods, because it all matters. I was able to do it. So, do-overs in life. So, do-over. And there are many do-overs. We have to renew our mind and our heart. We have to do over our hearts every day. We have to be gentle with our heart and constantly be saying, start again. It's okay. And gratitude for our heart. So I really wanted to make this video about do-overs and rush to judgment and, you know, didn't like this. But, you know, you make it work. And it works. So maybe I won't rub my eyes as much. Maybe my eyes won't puff up as much. They won't tear as much if I got my glasses on. Have a nice day, everybody. Whoever dropped in to see me, thanks, and have a nice day. Anyways, this China balloon thing, I'm so tempted to do like say China, 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 but I won't. It won't stop me from ordering Chinese food, you guys. And the only thing I think is, seriously, if I was going to send a surveillance thing into the sky for the whole world to see, it was going to end up on the news. I would want it to look pretty. I would want it to look exciting or something. Just this blah, kind of like a canvas material, or no, not like, it's sort of like a, I can think of, here, it's like this kind of, like, what is that, vinyl? Kind of like I have my bag here. It's kind of like an insulated, like vinyl kind of thing. This big bouncing ball, but it's white. And on it are these weird little black, what looks like from a distance, duct tape. Black squares. And looking at it, it looks like there's a, like the bouncing balloon ball has an indentation, almost like a zipper, or like some way out there in the airspace there's a ladder or something, or a way to get in and out of it, sort of like the shuttles. It really does look that way, like something's going in and out. Like, I don't know if maybe they get their camera out of it and then pull it back in, or if all those little black squares it looks like a checker mark of black. If that's supposed to be the actual cameras, don't know. But if I was putting one out there, I would make one that kind of camouflaged it, like in the dark it looked dark, and then like it morphed. Like if it was going into clear skies, it would turn clear, so it would be invisible. And if it was going into blue skies, it would turn blue. You get the idea. This thing is just so obvious that all I can think of is it's a huge test of our military and what we're going to do. But what a lot of people have said, and I keep thinking, is whatever is going to be done, we should have done it when it wasn't in our airspace, when it was just like flying over our military airspace. Nothing against our military, but it was flying over Montana, you know, Missouri. It just happened to be going, now it's North Carolina. Just happens to be going to where all the bases are. Where the IBMs and all the war things, weapons are. So it's kind of like saying, here I am. And I just thought it should be decorated, like maybe red checker marks or purple, yellow. I mean, it is the Chinese New Year. Maybe a rabbit on it or waterfalls, year of water, something. Not just this ugly thing with ugly check marks on it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Have a nice day, everybody, and I hope you'll make little hearts for Valentine's Day. Bye-bye.